What is up, YouTube? Make sure you guys drop a like and subscription on this video if you have not already. I really appreciate all of you guys for watching this. Today, we only have one MLB game on October 14th. It is Game 2 of the NLCS, Dodgers at the Brewers, after what was quite the game for Game 1. I mean, if we're being honest, that was it was both the most exciting and the most boring game that I've watched in a very, very long time. A whole lot happened and not a lot happened. It's weird. It was a paradox of sorts. 2-1 Dodgers. We saw one of the most dominant pitching performances probably in playoff history. There's maybe been like 3 or 4 better performances ever in a postseason game than what Blake Snell did. 8 innings pitched, only 1 hit, only faced the minimum number of batters because that 1 hit, he ended up getting picked off on first. 10 strikeouts. Nobody could hit anything off of him. It was crazy. No walks, no runs, obviously. It was a brutal 8 innings as a Brewers fan. But it was a dominant 8 innings from Snell. Got to give him props. That was impressive. That was very, very impressive. On the other side, though, Brewers pitching. Pretty outstanding. There was some hits that had happened. Dodgers got some hits. I'll give it to them. Walks were a little bit of an issue for the Brewers as well. Priester had 3, Ashby 1, Patrick 1, Uribe 3. Walks were a major issue. That's pretty much why the Brewers lost this game. And then it was really a solo home run that Patrick gave up to Freddie Freeman. Very good pitching performance overall from the Brewers, outside of those walks. And they had a chance to steal the game at the end. So I personally do think the series is potentially over after this one, especially with how they format these games, home and away. It goes home, home, away, 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 home, home, which if you're an NBA fan, it's usually home, home, away, away, home, right? There's a little staggering at the end there. But the fact that we go 3 straight away games for the Brewers after losing 1 at home, the home field advantage has now flipped to the Dodgers. Assuming the Brewers were to win tonight, then that would still mean the Dodgers, as long as they win at home, which most teams do in the playoffs, they can end the series without having to come back to Milwaukee in Game 5, which is, like I said, I understand it's because of travel and you can't really do the back-to-back games and it would just make the series last a lot longer. But I think the format of 3 away games in the middle of the series it's not really home field advantage for the team that has home field advantage anymore. It's basically away field advantage the way the series is set up, as long as they can steal 1 at home. So it pretty much forces the Brewers to have to win now. Yeah, they do have to win a road game now, in order to keep the series going into Game 6 or Game 7. So pretty interesting, but yeah, we got to take care of business tonight. Let's go over and dive into this game, man. We got Yamamoto going up against Freddie Peralta. Let's start with the pitchers here. Yoshinobu, Yamamoto. Interesting stats here. 29% strikeout rate, so about 10% better than league average. Against a team that doesn't strike out that much outside of last night, where they struck out 10 times. On the season, they're only averaging about 7.8 strikeouts, which is 26th in the MLB in terms of when you rank it the most to the worst. So they're technically the 4th best at not striking out. So very good for them on that front. Brings me to Yamamoto around 7 strikeouts with about 3.78 hits allowed, 1.77 earned runs, 17 outs. So pretty much very similar to what we saw last night from Blake Snell is what it looks like. Not going to give up a lot of hits. Maybe gives up an earned run or 2. Goes pretty deep into the game. He's not a guy that's known for giving up home runs. He doesn't give up hits. His walks are a little bit shaky at 8.63%, a little bit higher than you'd want to see. It's still better than average, but his runs per innings pitched, pretty much none. Yeah, very, very strong potential outing here for Yamamoto. Brewers rolling out their ace in a must-win game here, Freddie Peralta. 28% strikeout rate, so very similar to Yamamoto. 2.9 home runs, similar to Yamamoto. 17% hits, similar to Yamamoto. His walks are a bit of an issue at 9%. And then the same, 0.31 runs per innings pitched. Dodgers strikeout middle of the pack, 16th most in the MLB. 8.35 times per game, that is. Freddie also going for about 7 strikeouts, 4 hits, 1.7 runs, and almost 18 outs as well. So, very, very, very even matchup here for the starting pitchers on paper. Brings us to the first 5 runs, about 1.53 per team, with a 53% chance at a nerfy. This one, on the surface, looks like it probably is going to be a very low-scoring game to start the game. First 5 or so innings, Not expecting a whole lot of action, offensively at least. Kind of what this series, man. I feel like it's going to potentially be a grinded out series. Let's see if we have any history here. Shohei Ohtani is 3 for 10 versus Freddie with 2 homers. They're going to be extremely careful with Shohei like they were yesterday. He got intentionally walked 2 times. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets intentionally walked at some point today. So Shohei Ohtani for a walk is probably pretty darn good. Where is it? Walk, yeah, 0.9, yeah. Shohei's probably going to walk today. He does have a 5.34 on that pitch mix. Like I said, he has good history versus Freddie. Mookie's 1 for 9 with a homer. Teoscar is 2 for 7. Freddie is 3 for 13. Will Smith, 4 for 10 with a homer. So Will Smith seems to have Freddie Peralta's number. Tommy Edman, 3 for 8. That's pretty good, too. Max Muncy, 0 for 3. And then Enrique Hernandez, 2 for 4. And Andy Pajes, 0 for 7. So they got some good history here. By the way, this app that I'm using right here on the screen is wap.com/RudeBets. If you have not joined wap.com/RudeBets, come to the page. This is where you'll see it. And if you want to get access to the simulators and the community, click right here. Join the premium ASAP if you have not already. I would love to have you guys there. We've got a pretty solid community going in there now ever since we moved over from rudebets.com to wap.com/RudeBets. You can use code RUDE for 25% off. So if you go here to RudeBets Premium and you go to subscribe with any of these packages here and you click join, you can use RUDE for 25% off. Obviously, if you use code RUDE on the yearly, you're dropping that price to like, what, $10 a month almost? Just about, a little over $10 a month, about $15 a month. So, well worth it. Come join, use that code, and you're going to get access to all these apps that I build. By the way, we have some exciting new things coming out for these apps. We're going to have a complete redesign soon, so the UI is going to look different. And on top of that, I'm going to be adding some insane features to it that nobody else has. And these are all built in directly to the community. So like when you're in the WAP, all the apps are right here, as well as all the different picks that I take, as well as the chats, the premium chat, and all the different members. So come join, be a part of it. We're the only community that has a research tool built into it. And you also have access to me and ask me any questions about any sort of plays that you want. I'm always here to help, and you can bounce ideas off me. Shohei, while I do like him for a home run tonight, let me see what his odds are. We had an unfortunate situation where Be Better, the app that I use for odds screening, is no longer around, and I do not want to pay $120 a month for pick the odds. So I'm going to just do it old school, and we're going to go look at the book and see what we're generally looking at here. Get a rough idea. Most books are probably going to be in a similar range. There might be some variance, obviously, so price shop when you do take plays, but we're just getting an idea here. Plus 255 for Ohtani. It's going to be negative expected value. It is. I like him tonight potentially for a hit, for total bases, home run, hits, runs, RBIs, kind of anything. But my concern is the walks, the intentional walks, the situational matchups that he's going to end up seeing. Like, some of that does get me a little nervous for Shohei. And being in on him on any sort of props tonight, even though his matchup looks good. I don't know that they'll give him enough of an opportunity. The Brewers, that is, pitching to him. Mookie's probably a fade. Teoscar looks like a little bit of a fade. Freddie Freeman and Will Smith are two guys that I really like tonight for a hit. Freddie was red hot yesterday. Will Smith has Freddie Freeman was red hot yesterday. And Will Smith also did well yesterday. Has Freddie Peralta's number. As we talked about, he's 4 for 10 with a home run, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Clearly sees the ball extremely well against Freddie Peralta. He has a neutral pitch mix matchup, which against Freddie Peralta, if you have a neutral matchup, that's really good because his pitch mix is nasty. So this right here, Will Smith, he's a guy that I really like for hits, runs, and RBIs today, or to get a hit. Although it is going to possibly be a low-scoring game, that hits, runs, and RBIs thing is extremely, that number's pretty shaky. But he's one of the guys, if anybody, that I would be taking for that tonight, most likely with an RBI. So you could also take him for an RBI today, too. Plus 114 is where I have him for that fair value. When you use wap.com/RudeBets, when you use the MLB simulation model, please click on a player, scroll to the bottom, play with these probabilities, and get those fair values. Like I said, the RBI fair values, plus 114. The hits, runs, RBIs, minus 150. You're going to get much better value than that, I think, given it is a playoff game. Tommy Edman, Max Muncy. Max Muncy's Yeah, really, it's Will Smith and Freddie Freeman today offensively for the Dodgers that I would hone in on if you're looking at player props. You could take Shohei too, obviously, but Shohei is going to probably be the highest risk, highest reward because he's in such a great matchup, but I feel like they respect him too much. On the other side, if we look at the Brew Crew, Jackson Chourio does have the highest pitch mix, but he struggles a little bit versus righties. Against Yamamoto, 0 for 1 here. Let's see, that fastball Yamamoto's nasty with. It's the splitter that Chourio's been pretty good with. The splitter is where Chourio's excelled this year. 10.17 runs above average with that splitter. 25% of Yamamoto's pitches are the splitter. That's his secondary pitch. But Chourio is still nursing that hamstring, and you can kind of see it when he's at the plate. He's swinging way too hard. He's trying to overcompensate for it. He's swinging really hard. Can't get the lower leg power on it, I don't think. He can't run out of infield singles, so he's trying to just put the ball out there. Yeah, Chourio does. I don't think I'd be in on Chourio props tonight, personally. Maybe for a hit, but that's about it. Goodness, man. Yeah, Yelich, Terang, Vaughn, Frelick. These guys don't really look that good on paper, if we're being completely honest. Against Yamamoto, they don't look great. They do not look great. Yelich, 0 for 1. Goodness, man. Sal Frelick is 1 for 1 with a hit, an extra base hit versus him. But they've only seen Yamamoto 1 inning. Last time, if you guys recall, last time the Brewers played the Dodgers where Yamamoto was pitching was earlier this year. Yamamoto didn't even get out of the first inning against the Brewers. They put up like 4 or 5 runs. He got 1 or 2 outs, and then he got pulled in the first inning. He couldn't get out of it. So a lot of these guys don't have too many data points. But they did get after him in that first game. A lot of walks, if I remember, is what the problem was. So, I don't think Yamamoto is going to have that happen to him tonight, obviously. I really can't say that I'm that keen on any Brewers player props tonight. Outside of maybe Chourio for a hit. You could maybe go Bryce Terang for a hit, but with how cold he's been, I don't know that I would do it. Sal Frelick to get a hit could be in play, but these pitch mixes are all just so nasty low. Contreras is decent with that 3.63. I could see him coming through. He also has a walk in that matchup. Oh, it's just tough. It's just not great for the Brewers. Yeah, even the exit velocities are not looking too hot for them. Yesterday, they had no hard contact the entire game. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see a whole lot for this team offensively for player props. What's Freddie's strikeout line? Although I don't know. His is 5.5, which I think is okay value. The only concern is I'm not entirely confident. After seeing how the Brewers managed Shohei yesterday, I'm not confident they're going to let Shohei see Freddie twice. Maybe they will. They might need to with the bullpen being used so much yesterday. So we'll see. I think he might. So I think the 5.5 line for Freddie for strikeouts is actually pretty good. Something that's decent to take if you're trying to take something on the Brewers today. Yeah. In terms of winning this game, when we look at the prices here, I don't think the Dodgers are worth it at -120. You are getting negative expected value, and let's go over that real quick. So if we go to the edge calculator, this is something I posted yesterday on the Blue Jays. Blue Jays were negative expected value, so were the Mariners. There was no play in that game. If we look at the Dodgers, they're -120. Oops. On my end, they are plus 102, and they're -120 on the book. So you can see right here, based on how I'm modeling out this game, -5% expected return based on my prediction for the game. So that is not a good play to take the Dodgers. Even if you think they're going to win, this is a -5% expected value play, whereas the Brewers, -102, is where I have them at. Plus 100 is what they are on the book. This is fair value. They're not even a full percent of expected value in terms of their ROI on this play. They're 0.50. So let's say you have a $1,000 bankroll. This would say you put $250 on it. There's basically no edge here, is what it's saying. Even full Kelly, $5. There's almost no edge in this scenario. There's not really much of an advantage on the Brewers on the money line. They are a positive expected value play, but by less than 1%. So it's not an entirely great play. I would say that is the better side based on the price. And if the Brewers end up going even further into the positive, say they end up at 105, okay, now you're at 1.72%. Now you're looking at a decent play. Say they somehow get up to 110, I doubt that'll happen. But if it somehow moved to 110, you'd be looking at 2.88%. Once again, this calculator is built into the community, so when you're looking through the RudeBets MLB app or NFL or college football or any of that, you can just look at the edge calculator, put in the odds, and get those expected returns and recommended bet sizes based on your risk tolerance. So once again, guys, come join wap.com/RudeBets. But going back into this MLB one, projection leaderboard, might as well just look at it. It's only one game. Shohei is the best one for a home run, really the only guy for a home run today. Total bases, Shohei is the only one over 2. Hits, runs, and RBIs. Will Smith, Freddie, and Shohei, 3 guys I already talked about. The player props seem to really just be on the Dodgers and then Freddie for strikeouts. So not a whole lot in this one. Should be very similar to yesterday, in my opinion. Low scoring, a lot of stress, grinded out game. But this series has implications that are far greater than most people understand. And that all comes down to the fact that this season in 2027 for MLB might not happen based on the results of this series, at least in part based on the results of this Brewers versus Dodgers series, because the collective bargaining agreement does expire between the players' union and the owners. And one of the giant points that needs to be negotiated still is the implementation of a potential salary cap in baseball, which does not exist right now. And this matchup right here is the smallest market in baseball going up against the biggest payroll we've ever seen in baseball history. And the argument for both sides here is if the Brewers win, well, then the Dodgers can say, look, a small market team beat a big payroll. It's possible. We don't need a salary cap. If the Dodgers win, then the Brewers and the rest of the owners can say the Brewers had the best record in baseball and they still couldn't beat the payroll Dodgers and wasn't even competitive because they could just buy all the best players. There needs to be a salary cap. So the implications for this match in this series, the stakes are extremely high for if we're even going to see baseball in 2027 or not. And if that salary cap will come or not. So there is a lot riding on this series besides just the outcome of this game. Just enjoy it while it's here. We might not see baseball in a couple years for quite some time, so enjoy it while you can. David versus Goliath. I'm on Team David. Let's go Brewers. And make sure you guys drop a subscription, a like, and a comment on this video if it helped. And we'll be back for more breakdowns in the near future. And if you haven't yet, please come join wap.com/RudeBets. I would love to have you guys in the community and using the tools that I built. My favorite thing ever is going into the wins and seeing people post the wins that they've hit using my tools. Like last night, Zach Ertz was the number 1 player in the game for an anytime touchdown. And we had users cashing $579 on that play, $444 on that play. So come join the WAP if you haven't, and let's start winning together, man. I'll see you guys there. Peace out.